Ever dreamed of traveling the world but thought you couldn't afford it? What about training abroad, pursuing an athletic goal, or launching that adventure you've been putting off? Welcome to the Finn Wardman World Explorer Fund podcast, where we share stories with people who've turned their biggest dreams into reality, often on a shoestring budget. Each episode, we sit down with explorers, nonprofit leaders, and people who've received grants to make the impossible happen. I'm Geordie, and this is where we unpack adventure one story at a time. Hi, my name is Geordie with the World Explorer podcast, and I'm here with Caro. How are you today, Caro?
I'm doing great. Thanks. And you?
Yeah, I'm doing so good. Maybe we could just start by just introducing yourself and telling our listeners what you do.
Okay, so I am an IFMGA guide from Switzerland, also a North Bay athlete. I do expeditions around the world. I love to go to really remote places and explore places or worlds where nobody has been. So I love to open new routes or climb in places, ski in places where nobody has been or very little people have been. So yeah.
Okay, cool. So I saw that you went to university in Lausanne. Is the love for the mountains, is this like something you always had?
Yeah, so I was born in Switzerland, and then I grew up in between Switzerland and Germany, so big parts of my youth I grew up quite further away from the mountains. But yeah, I started skiing when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and then my parents, they would always do these hikes from hut to hut with us on the holidays, and they saw that I really loved like the passages that were a little bit more tricky or where you had to climb a little bit. And then I started climbing in a youth group of the Alpine Club when I was like 11 years old. And yeah, I think it was really I found my passion directly there. It was really, I knew that's the thing I wanted to do. And yeah, I started like climbing, mountaineering with them, ski touring, everything. And I was really, 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 yeah, I had found my passion and I really went for it. And then when I was 16 years old, I went to Aconcagua in South America, in Argentina. And I went together with some Argentinian friends that were guides and that were guiding people. And at that point, I was like, wow, I want to be a guide too. And from there, kind of the dream started.
I want to clarify. I mean, I think from my impression is you're much more than just like, not that there's anything plain about being a guide, but I think you do like big time expeditions and you kind of push that sort of limit of what a guide does, right? You were sort of more like an adventurer, and that's my impression. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. But becoming a Swiss guide is very involved. Like when did you start that and how long did it take you to do that?
Yeah, so I started when I was like 25 years old. And it takes 3 years if you pass each exam first try. And if you don't pass it first try, then you lose a year because you have to wait 1 year, first do
Okay.
that module and that exam again, and then you can go on. So yeah, it's quite a hard course to be honest. They put lots
Yeah.
of pressure on you. But yeah, I was lucky. I passed everything first try.
You
So after
passed, so
three
you
years,
got
I was
through
done.
when you were 28 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. And since that time, have you sort of developed like a sort of niche in the guiding business? Like, what would you say your sort of like specialty is? Like, what kind of client would be attracted to using your services?
It's funny because I like to guide everything. I'm somebody, I like to share my passion and I like to share my passion for others and give others the possibility to go into the mountains and to go onto summits that they've never been. But it can be super easy. I mean, sometimes it's like taking people for the first time into the mountains. And for me, that's super nice to do. It's even as nice as climbing like a big 4,000-meter peaks. I really like everything if I can like open this door for people. I also work a lot with youth and do lots of teaching. So I kind of like this on my guide job that is like so different. No day is
Yeah.
the same like any other. And this is something I really enjoy.
Okay, that's great. Let's start with like, what are you maybe not what you're most proud of, but like, what's a big expedition that you did that was like felt meaningful and puts you sort of higher up on the echelons of being a guide?
It's funny. I've done lots of expedition, but many expeditions just like for my own goals, not for guiding. But so when I was like 21 or something like this, I climbed Cerro Torre, which is like one of those like
In
really
Chile, right?
emblematic, yeah,
Hmm.
mountains in Patagonia. And we climbed it. We were the first girls team to like free climb it, so not using fixed ropes, just climbing by ourselves. And I think this put my name a bit more into the international community of like more professional alpinism. And then I've done like tons of expeditions. At the beginning, I was going always more east, so I've been to Iran and Armenia and countries like this. And then lately, I've been doing a lot going to Greenland because I found a way that Greenland you can reach without taking a plane. So once I sailed from France to Greenland to open a big wall route there and then sail all the way back. This was like 3 years ago with 7 of my girlfriends, which was really nice, but it was a 3 month expedition, so it was really challenging.
Hmm.
The sailing port was really long, but really adventurous. Last summer, I went back to Greenland with the Swiss Young Alpinist team, so I was like guiding. Um, I've been guiding, coaching those young women for like 2.5 years, and then we did a final expedition and went to Greenland to open new big wall routes too. So I think these were like really meaningful
Okay.
expeditions.
That sounds killer. So let's say maybe unpack one of the first expedition because maybe like you went with your friends. Were you getting paid for? You must have got some sponsorship for that or what?
So it took us 2 years to organize that expedition.
Really? Okay.
2 years to find like a team and a sailboat because we wanted to skip ourselves a sailboat and we were sailing north of the Arctic Circle. So it's quite engaged sailing, quite
Yeah, of
dangerous
course.
sailing. So
Yeah.
if you hit an iceberg, you lose your sailboat. So not many people want to like give you their sailboat. So it took us quite a while until we found sailboat that we can like rent and skip ourselves.
Did you have sailing experience? I mean, like how did you get someone to believe like, okay, I'll trust you with my boat?
I actually had some sailing experience. I also sailed to Antarctica already, but I'm not the one who would take the boat as a captain. But I
Hmm.
was sail. We were a team of like 4 sailors. They were all really experienced. Yeah, they had done. One had already done an expedition to Greenland, sailing from France to Greenland. The other one had lots of sailing experience in Patagonia. So yeah, we were a pretty solid team of like, yeah, 4 women that were sailors, 3 climbers, and a photographer. So there was all the expertise there. Yeah, we just needed the people to believe in us, and then we needed to find the money because not so cheap to charter a boat.
Yeah.
And it took us like 2 years to find sponsors to do that. And we were not paid. We just managed to cover like the whole trip.
This podcast is really directed towards young people that may be thinking about doing their own sort of expedition or some kind of big journey like that. I'd love to drill more into how you were able to do that. What tips can you give some listeners on planning their own big adventure?
I think first of all, it's always like a big dream, and sometimes those big dreams they seem like so big that it's not gonna be possible. But I feel like if you dream big and if it's really what you want to do, you can do it. You just have to be patient and take the time and put all the energy into it to make it happen. So for us, it was like the first year when we wanted to do it, we didn't find a boat and we didn't get the money together. So we're like, okay, we'll just keep trying and go for it the next year. So it was like, I think you should like, yeah, have the patience and insist if you want to do something because sometimes it's not like bam and it works out. It's like lots of hard work behind that, but then at
Yeah.
one point it will turn out for sure. Yeah, and we actually worked really well together as a team. I have the feeling we're all like pushing in the same direction, and it helps also to be several people pushing in the same direction. And then we were just approaching, yeah, we needed money, so we needed sponsors, and we are just approaching brands, approaching people, and yeah, sometimes they're telling us no, it's not possible, and sometimes we would get like positive answers. So I think it's just going for it.
Just having a dream and going for it. This is not obviously full time. You're just doing this like when you can, right? You know, like maybe going throughout your day. Maybe you have a side job or whatever. For in your case, you were guiding, and then when you had some chance, you would like do some research and then maybe do some outreach or something. Or is that the approach that maybe someone listening could do? Like, okay, I have a dream. I've been talking about this for 3 years. Why haven't I done anything? Like Caro said, like, just do it, like, talk me through that part.
So yeah, we had all different jobs. I'm a mountain guide. Two other girls are like climbing instructors. The others are, one is an engineer, one is an maritime architect. So they had even more full-time jobs than me. Actually, the other girls, they were taking unpaid leave to go there. I was taking like one summer season of guiding. So it was quite a commitment. We knew that we're not going to be able to earn money, but we were going to be able to live the dream that we had.
Tell me about this, like when you got there, like what was it like sailing up there with your friends? Like tell me about like what happened in that trip. It sounds like totally epic.
Yeah, so actually, when we trained also for 2 years together. We trained on the sailboat, we trained climbing, so we were really well prepared. Then we packed the food, so we packed the food for the 3 months because we were hoping to be able to sail directly straight from France to Greenland. And if you can sail straight from France to Greenland, the fastest it would take around 15 days, but normally like around 3 weeks you should definitely be there. We calculated 1 month to get there, 1 month to climb there, and 1 month to go back, like to just have a bit of a margin. And then we had like really, really, really bad weather. So there were like one storm after the other passing the North Atlantic, always like low pressure systems. So we were stuck in harbors a lot, and actually it took us 4 weeks only to get to Iceland. So
So you're
hadn't
saying
even
like you
reached
got stuck
Greenland.
in Iceland then when you got to yeah.
So we were stuck first in Dublin. We were already stuck after like 6 days of sailing. Then we were stuck in Dublin for a couple of days because there was a big storm. Then we were stuck quite a bit on the Faroe Islands. And then we managed to cross to Iceland. And then we were
Yeah,
stuck there, I think, for 10 days.
yeah,
And then we managed to sail over to Greenland. And it was really hard because you had to be really, really patient. And at
yeah,
one point, we even didn't know if we would reach Greenland, and we didn't even know if we would climb. So it was like really hard for my mind being
yeah,
like on this trip and not even knowing if we would climb, because I really love sailing and it's amazing, but it's like my passion is still like climbing, and we're like doing
yeah,
this like big journey and had organized everything. We're like, wow, we're doing this in an all-female team. This nearly never happens because like the world of mountaineering and the world of expedition sailing are super male dominated, and now we managed, and now it's just so hard on us. But yeah, it's just been a
yeah,
big challenge. And I think if with another team, we would maybe have stopped in Iceland because it was so
yeah,
hard to get to Iceland. But we were just such a good team, and we were all working together and like laughing a lot. And if one person wasn't doing well or was feeling low in energy, the others would step in and motivate. And I think, yeah, this team made the success that we finally reached Greenland after 6 weeks of sailing, of being on sea
Well,
or in harbors.
yeah. And how was the climbing when you got there? Like, did it live up to your dreams? I mean, was it crazy or what?
It was really, really good climbing, but it's the same thing. We came there and it rained a lot, so we had only 10 days on land because we knew that like mid-August latest we had to turn around and sail back because in the fall there's big storms in the North Atlantic. So we had only like 10 to 12 days on land in Greenland, and then it rained. It was like it kept being hard. It was like a roller coaster of emotions, this whole
Yeah.
expedition. But the climbing was really, really good, and we managed in 3.5 days to climb the wall that we had looked at,
Hmm.
and to get to the summit. I think at one point we even didn't believe anymore that we would get up there because it was so hard conditions, so bad weather, and then finally, yeah, finally it just worked out. And after
Yeah.
so much hard work and so much teamwork together, it felt like super rewarding to stand on the summit. It's really a different experience if you travel like this.
How do you get through those really hard times? Do you have some like ways that you manage that?
I think for me the best is if I'm not alone in these times. I'm not super strong in being alone when I'm not doing well, but this
Mm-hmm.
is why I normally do like big trips and expeditions with my friends. Like for me it's even more important to be with friends than like strong climbers or strong sailors. I think this is the most important, that you choose right the people, because for me this is kind of the recipe for a successful expedition. I think the most successful expeditions are the ones in which the team worked really well, for sure.
Okay. Okay. What you work a lot with the youth, particularly like in the age of 18 to 25. What do you recommend that people like that want to do what you're doing? Or how would you talk to them and kind of guide them through to make that step to be able to dream, really?
I think the most important is like find something that motivates yourself, because if you're motivated with something, then you're happy to put all the energy into it. And for
Hmm.
some people it's going to be more something sport related, for other people it's more going to be something culture related. And I think it's good to find what is your passion, and then you can see where can I do this passion. Is it somewhere far away, or is it even close? Is it in a remote place? But finding something like maybe extraordinary inside this passion, something like really special, something that you don't have in your at your home. And then I think you shouldn't be scared of the unknown. I think we often like just scared of the unknown, because for sure it's stepping out of our comfort zone. All these expeditions still make me step out of my comfort zone each time.
Hmm.
But I think this makes you grow, and this makes you have like an incredible adventure or experience. Also, not putting pressure on it, just saying, okay, I'll do it and I'll see how it works out, but not having the pressure, it has to be that or that way.
Yeah.
Being open to the encounters you're going to do, being open to the experience that you're going to do, without putting the pressure on you, it has to be successful in this way or this way. I think you have to be curious and open minded, and kind of also go with the flow of these like adventures, because there's always challenges, there's always stuff that goes wrong. And I
Yeah.
think which makes the experience is how you face these hard moments. If you can like be relaxed and just face these moments and take them as the whole experience, then it's great. And if those moments they pull you down too much, I think it's not good. So just like
Yeah.
always
Just
try
just
to stay
just
positive.
chill and kind of like get into it and just accept and kind of go with the flow, right? What about your dreams now? You someone that has accomplished so much and you've done so much. Like, what are your dreams now?
So now this summer, which is the winter in Patagonia, I have a big expeditions with three of my friends, where we gonna go with a sailboat deep into the Chilean fjords in southern Patagonia. It's a really remote area where you can only get by boat, and not many people have been. So we're gonna be exploring these fjords and trying to ski like some new lines that nobody has ever skied before. And then at the end we'll reach Puerto Eden, from where we'll cross the whole ice cap. In Patagonia there's like a really really big ice cap, so you cross it with skis and sledges to get back to El Chaltén, which is the place where I live like half of the year.
So you know this area a little bit because El Chaten is where you sort of spend some time then, and you were like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm curious about these fjords. I want to go ski some of these lines.
exactly. I live there a lot, so if you spend much time in a place, I think it's really cool to be curious and explore that place, and go
Hmm.
maybe just also to places that are a bit harder to get to, or which are not like the only the known places, to like look
Yeah.
beside the big paths.
Are you finding it easier to plan for something like this, or is it still like you're still having some of the same challenges that you were on some of your like now that you have all this experience, is it easier for you to plan this, or is it still hard?
It still takes lots of energy and time, but it's way easier for me to plan, because I have so much experience piled up of different expeditions. So I kind of know how to plan, what I have to do, what I have to take, what I have to, yeah, do. But then there's each expedition has its own challenges. And right now we're trying to figure out how we can sail cross the border with a sailboat, and then the sailboat only coming back with 2 people and not with 4 people, which is like super hard in South America. So yeah, there's always new challenges that you have to
Yeah.
somehow figure out.
In a journey like this, is there like some objective? Are you making a movie, or is there some summit, or is it just pure exploration?
It's a mix of exploration and like kind of a sport goal, because we definitely want to do like a first ski descent, and we're looking at different summits, and then finally conditions will decide what we can ski and what we can't ski. But I think I'm someone, I really like the exploration part, but mixed with like sport challenges. So yeah, I'm someone that really likes to like um, use my body and bring it
Mhm.
kind of to his limits and
Are,
test the limits.
are you going to be doing some film? It sounds like it would be a really good like documentary or sort of sports.
We'll definitely like document it for ourselves, but we
Yeah.
haven't gotten like any funding to like make a movie or anything. So we'll see. If we find it, we'll make it happen. If not, we'll just like stay with us, and then we'll just share pictures.
Okay, great. Can you leave us with maybe like someone that's thinking about doing this? Any advice or anything like that? Lessons learned?
I think for me it's always the thing. What I've learned is like if you have a dream and you really want it, you can do it. You
Yeah.
just have to put the effort in it, and it's not something that will come like this to you. Just it's putting the effort in. But if you really want it, I think you can do it.
I think, and also people know what their dream is, right? I think you know, like deep, it's like, oh well, I don't have a dream. It's like you really do, but you just don't want to admit it and kind of go for it. So I think that's great advice.
Yeah, or let yourself think outward, like the boundaries, like outside of the environment you're living in. Like, it can be crazy.
Yeah, the crazier the better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I want to thank you for your time. I've really enjoyed speaking with you.
My pleasure. Thank you.